What's up there, SEO pros? Today we're going to be doing a huge site audit and also recommendations for optimizations on-page and off-page SEO for a branding agency. This is going to be a pretty cool audit. I hope you guys enjoy this. As you can see right here, there is a lot of traffic coming to this site organically, and we're going to see what we can do to improve the conversions and also perhaps existing rankings or even new rankings for this site. We're going to do as much as we can, probably within an hour or two, and yeah, we're just going to dive right into it. So if you guys are also seeing this later, this is actually a live stream right now, but if you're seeing this later, make sure you leave a comment if you have any questions, or if you just want to say hey, thanks. I enjoy that too. It keeps me motivated. So yeah, let me just move this live dashboard over so I can see the comments if they do come in. All right, cool. So first things first, let's look at, so we got the analytics going and we got the search console going, and the website that we're working on is called Inkbot Design. Now you can see this is a branding company, so this is pretty exciting for us because they already have basically the visual marketing done. We're going to be focusing on more of the technical things that we can do, where in most cases, the sites that we're working on, the people don't usually know the direction of the site that they're going towards. They don't really know what their conversion is. They don't really know really what their branding is. So it's really cool to work with somebody who's already pretty much established their brand, and so it kind of takes out the guessing for us. We can focus more on what can we do to improve the user experience, what can we do to improve the on-page SEO, the off-page SEO, the conversions, all that good stuff. So cool. So now that that's out of the way, we're gonna look at first. I don't do this in any specific order. You guys are always asking me, you know, what's the best order to do SEO in? Like, what's the main things you do? I kind of just feel it out depending on the site. I know that's probably not the answer you guys are looking for. You're probably looking for more step-by-step. And like I said in my previous videos, I will be creating step-by-step checklists for you guys because that seems like something big that you've been wanting to see. But right now we're just gonna kind of feel it out. So one of the first things I usually like to do is see how big these sites are. So I'll go site : and then the name of the site, and we can see that there's 943 results being indexed by Google. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that's how big the site is. The site might be bigger, but there just might be pages that aren't being indexed. So in here we can see that there's some schema markup going on, which is cool. Maybe there isn't schema markup. Maybe Google's just able to pull this information without schema markup. But generally, if you see aggregate rating, which is these stars, there is some sort of schema markup. So we're going to go like that. We're going to look at it. We're going to go to the structured data testing tool just to confirm. Because it is cool to see that there is schema markup. It makes our job a little bit easier in some ways. So we'll go like that, plug in the URL, and fetches Google. And there looks like this is probably the schema markup here. Professional service, no. Service, there it is. So service and then reviews. So this is interesting because, yeah, it looks like this will be going on this page. It would be cool to actually see the reviews on this page. But that's when we're going to do a little bit deeper of a dive into this. Right now we're actually kind of looking at the first things, the more basic things, and then we'll kind of look at more of the advanced things like schema and that stuff. So so 943 pages, that's a lot of pages. That's a lot of stuff for us to look at. But what we're probably going to do in the beginning, and this is what I like to do, is look at the top pages with the most traffic, see what we can do for those, make some adjustments, and then move to the more specific pages that might be having less traffic. The other thing that's interesting about doing big site audits is that generally if there's 943 pages, not all of those are getting traffic off of Google. And Google likes to see that that a lot of your pages, it doesn't have to be all of them, but a lot of your pages are all really high quality, that people are actually finding them. If they're you know, if people are finding them on Google, then Google's, you know, ranking them for a reason because they're assuming that these pages are high quality. If they're not being ranked or people aren't finding them, chances are that they either need to be optimized or they need to be pruned, which means you need to get rid of the pages that are really low quality so that you can keep only high quality pages on your site. But of course we can't figure all of that out right now. But like, for instance, PayPal button affordable design, we don't know if that's something that we want to keep it being indexed on here. So you'll see like this doesn't really look like, I don't know, much of a purpose. The submit comment is kind of grayed out. So this might be one of those pages that we want to de-index. It definitely helps printing pages, at least having them no index, because then Google can see more of a common theme that you're going for and that you don't just have a bunch of random pages being indexed. Okay, so let's look at the organic traffic first. I'm going to look at the top pages. And I did run a test in the last, or on-page tester, SEO tool tester on the last audit, but I'm going to run it again because I don't remember the results. But I do want to look at what are some of the main things we can start fixing. And this is all from a code standpoint. We're not actually doing anything from hold on, I'm trying to find this. A user standpoint, yeah, user standpoint will come next because we're trying to figure out all the things we can figure out right away. So let me find the, see if I can just, there it is. Problem is, really need to clean up my desktop. So this tool is called Beam Us Up. It's a tool I like to use because it's really simple and it kind of shows you the surface level SEO things that you can do on your site pretty quickly. So we'll press start. One of the things that we did see with the last audit, I do remember, was that the there was multiple meta descriptions and then multiple title tags in some pages. So as you can see in here, H1's missing, title tag's too long. These are all basic things that we can go through and change. Not really the big things that are going to make a difference. And I like to focus like right away on the big things that can make a difference. So in that case, what that comes down to is what can you do to increase conversions? What can you do to increase rankings and analytics? And then lower like bounce rates and that sort of thing. And then you can focus on more of the technical things, like that's like month 2 or however you want to structure it, depending on the amount of hours you have. So meta description's too long, meta description's missing. So these are all things that we just want to bring up. Keyword tag, meta keywords, that's deprecated. We don't want to use that anymore. So that's something we'd want to take out. Okay, so let's just go to the top pages. So what you do is you go into your search console. We're going to filter by the last 90 days. So set date range, 90 days. Go to queries, impression, and then click impressions, click clicks, click through, and positions. You don't have to click all of that, but it's helpful. And then we'll see these are all the different data points from the last 90 days. And the things that we're going to want to look at are actually on pages. So it's cool to look at these queries, but that's not specifically what we're going for right now. That's more into user intent optimization. Right now we're going more for what we can do for on-page SEO and user experience, and then we can go over to user intent. So we'll go to pages. And if some of this stuff doesn't make sense, just keep following along and it'll make more sense in the future. Also, I'm going to start telling you guys in the middle of these videos, if you can give me a thumbs up, if you're enjoying this stuff so far, make sure you do so. Also, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do that too. I've been finding that if you leave engagement signals throughout your videos in the middle, or like, throughout the video, people are more likely to engage because it reminds them to engage, and then it also increases the reach so we can help more people. So we got some comments. Tech Savvy Solutions says good stuff. Inkbot Design has a happy face, and Inkbot Design is the people we're working with right now, or person. Brian Nichols says, what's up, Chase? Great videos. You've been quite prolific. Salute. Not to be greedy, but may I ask you a question? Go ahead. Okay, so right here, these are the top 5 pages right now. And of course, as I probably assumed, the top 5, one of the top 5 pages, or at least the top page right now, is something from a content marketing piece, which is huge because that means Inkbot Design is doing something really good, which a lot of other people really fail to understand the importance of content marketing. And you'll see right here is complete evidence that content marketing is huge. You'll see that they're getting 3,500 clicks in the last 90 days on this page with 28,000 impressions and a 12% click-through, which is amazing. So we're going to press this little arrow right here, and we're going to go over here and look at what's going on with this article. And also, I need to inform you guys what the actual conversion is on this site. So if we go to the actual site and you go to work with us, this is what we're going for. This is the main conversion point. We're not going for email signups right now. We're not going for, I mean, from what I know, I might want to suggest something for that to get higher traffic to this site and do some sort of remarketing. But for now, I was told that this is the main conversion, just to have people get quotes for logo design, print design, web design, marketing, social media, that sort of thing. So now that we know that that's the conversion point, we're going to see what we can do in order to increase conversions on these pages. Now, one of the things that we can't see is the actual user experience through heat maps or content analytics on this site. So that might be one thing I'm going to recommend right off the bat. So we'll bring up our notepad so we can start taking notes. So I'm going to say content analytics and heat maps. The reason why you want to use those is so you can see where people are scrolling, where people are dropping off, so you can start adding specific catchphrases or at least power words in certain places where people are dropping off and keep more people on the page. Another thing that Backlinko actually talks about is having these giant pictures in the beginning, which takes away from the, it's called above the fold. People should be able to start reading right when they hit the page. So what I would suggest, and this isn't just for me, this is like exactly what Backlinko says, is what you do is you take an image like this and you move it to the right and you make it a lot smaller. So I'll show you what Backlinko does right here. We'll just go to one of his blogs. And this guy's really good. I mean, I wouldn't say this if it wasn't something he didn't recommend. And you'll see he actually recommends something more like this. So you get your text in the front, you make sure you have a last updated, you have your whatever your picture is on the side, and then people can immediately start reading like that. And then I'll show you what it looks like on mobile. So it would just be a smaller logo on mobile. And whoops, go over here, go back. Trying to, won't let me do it, huh? It's weird. There it is. So it's like that. So, but you can still clearly see on mobile right off the bat, it's not taking up too much space. Where on this site, on this article, this is actually better because at least you can see the text when you first hit the site. So, I mean, what I would recommend is just making that smaller, pulling it to the right, especially if there's other images like this on the site doing the same thing. So that would be the first thing I'd recommend. Sorry, I don't know why I'm doing all caps. I don't know if the other pages are doing this, so I'm just going to do this for now, like that. And pull to right to improve user experience. Okay, the good thing about this stuff is that the text is really clean, it's broken up, looks really good. Let's check out the bounce rates. And so we know from Search Console that this has really good clicks, really good click-throughs, so that the user intent is really good on this post. And likely if we go to this post and then click on the queries, we'll be able to see that the user intent is probably optimized on this site, on this page for typography artists. You'll see a 16% click-through. So we know this is a really good 5 top typography artists graphic design inspiration. So that's like a great title tag. That's exactly what people are looking for when they're typing that in. We might be able to optimize it more by putting famous typographers after that, because you'll see that the next thing that people are actually typing in is that. So we could probably improve the click-through there as well, even though there's a 14% click-through for that already. But just making like a simple change by looking at the queries that people are already typing in and then redoing like the titles for that can help further optimize your post pretty quickly. And it's a little hack that a lot of people overlook. Okay, so where was I? So in here, so now that we know that this has really good click-throughs and we probably don't have to worry about too much about user intent optimization, we could actually go into analytics, look at this page and see what the actual on-page user experience looks like, which is the next thing that should always be looked at. So what we do is we go to it's acquisition, or sorry, no, it's behavior. One second. We're going to go to behavior right here. We're going to go to site content, I believe. We're going to go to all pages. And then we're going to go to that page right here. And instead of doing all users, which is good to look at, but we're just looking off of Google because that's what we want to look at, is just the organic traffic. So we're going to click on organic traffic from the segment list. And then we're going to filter by the last 90 days like we have it in the Search Console. So we'll go up here, filter, boom. Okay, so I think this might be a little bit more than 90 days, but that's still okay. So we'll see on this page, I need to probably minimize my face a little bit smaller so you guys can see. So we'll see on this page, there is average time spent on page is 1 minute. Entrances 1,600. Let's see if that matches. See, that says 3,500. So it's kind of weird. Sometimes Google doesn't show the same thing in analytics as it shows in Search Console, which is kind of annoying. Bounce rate is a 12%, which is really good. And then the exit rate is 33%. So that means people are going to other pages after viewing this page, which is really cool. So because the bounce rate's so low, we might not want to change anything because you don't really want to break anything that's already working. The only thing that I'd really recommend, and we could measure this afterwards and see if the bounce rate goes down even more. If it goes up, then we can put the image back. But it might be good to try putting that image to the side and see if the bounce rate goes even lower. Also, one of the things that was mentioned to me was that the fact that we don't have conversions listed. And one of the big things for this site is, so actually look, maybe convert. So it looks like conversions are going. So let's actually look in. So to see what the conversions actually are, is if we go to admin like that, we go to goals, and then these are the different conversions. So looks like it is going, except we have a lot of different conversions going on. So contact form submissions actually our main conversion. And then these other ones are more like time spent on page conversions, request quote. So we want to see a specific type of conversion. Either way, what I'm saying is that it's really important to have conversion tracking enabled, because then you can see the direct ROI that's coming off of these different content marketing pieces. And then you can also create conversion funnels and see where people are coming in from and where they're converting from, like in terms of different steps. So like if you have a content marketing piece that is about the top 5 typography artists, and then in there you're taking them to the article or the form that you want people to convert on, then you can actually create a conversion funnel and see the entrance that people go on the content marketing piece, and then them going to the next page, and if they drop off or not. And this is really cool to see for really big sites, especially like e-commerce sites. So yeah, right here, this is a good CTA. I'd be interested to see the heat maps on this. I think one of the things we can actually look at is look at the page and look at the outbound clicks on analytics. So let me go back to behavior, all pages. And then we'd actually look at would it be conversions what is it? Assisted conversions, I think. I don't know. It's one of those. Hold on. Reverse goal path, maybe. Services, free brand, 5 right here. So how many converters do we have off of that? It looks like, see, this is what's kind of confusing, is it says 9,000 conversions, but it's only because we're measuring conversions off of all these other things. So that's why I don't know if it's necessarily good to have all those other things unless we do like a different segment for that specific conversion itself, which has to be some sort of custom segment. Oh, all goals. Let's see. That's where we'll go. So we'll go to all goals, and then is it? I don't know if it's requested a quote or contact form submission. It looks like that's the same conversion. So we'll click that, and then now we can see if there's anything coming in through that other one. So this is all coming in through services. We can segment out by that one page as well, I think. Oh gosh. Funnel visualization. No, that's not what we want. We want goal flow maybe. This is all through Google. We want to actually go to landing page. So this can get kind of confusing, but it is worth drilling down on just to see. so that we can possibly set this up in the future. Advertising, behavior, landing page. See if we can find that one page. Free brand template. There it is. So boom, highlight traffic through here. And then on the goal, oh gosh, now it's just going through that other goal. So we want to go to group details. We want sorry, this is getting messy. For some reason it's only going through this specific goal when we don't want this goal, we want that other goal. Take out converters, maybe that'll fix it. So no. Fans under pages we want. Oh well. Okay, maybe this one. No, it's not showing us. Okay. So that's something to look at later, but definitely a lot. It's not this confusing if there isn't as many goals going on. I haven't actually specifically dealt with something where it has this many goals, so I actually have to spend a little bit more time looking at that. But it's off topic anyways, and I have a tendency to get kind of ADD on this stuff. So let's get back to where we were. Let me answer some questions. So Brian Knuckles says, "Great, thanks. So I do quite a bit of blogging and content marketing. What do you think of this strategy?" Yes. For 2017, content marketing, blogging is huge. Keep it up. Do whatever you can to keep doing, content marketing because it's huge. Whether it be through audio, video, text, it's huge right now. First, write a great piece. Then Brian's saying, first, write a great piece, then take the rough drafts and make sure they aren't duplicate content. Post them to Web 2.0s like LiveJournal. So you're saying like syndicating content. You write the piece and then take the rough drafts and make sure they aren't duplicate content. Post them to different sites. That's totally fine. I'm actually have a video talking about all the repurposing content I do on different sites. And these somewhat stripped down piece link to the better one that I want to rank on the authority site. Yeah. Then Blast 2.0s with somewhat spammy links. I don't know about that. Maybe might work. Sounds a little black hat. Prod Charles says, how do you make a heat map? You use a plugin like SumoMe, which will let you do heat map tracking. So definitely check this tool out, or Hotjar is pretty cool too. Hotjar also lets you record visitors and their interactions on your site, which is really cool to look at. Inkbot Design says, Crazy Egg heat maps are good. I use to have them set up. GA goals haven't been updated, so may not apply. Okay. Yeah, that's something that we need to look through later, but it is cool to see get an idea on what's going on there, because we do want to measure our conversions and start doing conversion funnels for these different conversion points from these articles and wherever else we're going to be doing it. It also might be cool to start doing A and B testing, since you are getting so much traffic, Stuart. And what that means is you see this call to action right here. Optimizely would be a great solution to start seeing if we can add different call to actions, and it's literally just drag and drop and see if people are going to be more likely to convert with a huge call to action that's in green, or just this call to action right here. We might want to start doing that, and I usually don't start implementing like A and B testing until we start getting as much traffic as like this. But at this point, it is usually worth checking out, because you can start getting more conversions from doing that sort of thing. You might also benefit from having some sort of content upgrade in these pieces, which works really well in 2017. A lot of people who are really big with like SEO are doing this strategy right now. And what that means is you have some sort of call out in here as well that says, hey, if you want 5 logos not listed in here or whatever, click here and we'll send them to you. And that's how you can get an email sign up. And you can start getting a lot of emails, which is really going to help propel your content marketing, and start getting, you can start doing a lot of things with them, like using them for remarketing through AdWords or through Facebook. There's a bunch you could do. So that's something that we're also probably going to want to look at. So I'm going to just put that as a note. Okay, so besides that, we're going to actually look at the code point of this too. So what we'll do is we'll log into our Mozbar tool. Now that we're logged in, go back. So this has a page authority of 20, domain authority of 42. What does that mean? It means that this has the potential to create other on-page signals to other parts of this website, right? So if we don't have links to other parts, like maybe another article that we're trying to rank, or maybe like some other query we're trying to go for with a landing page, like the homepage or something, might be pretty helpful to do that. So we definitely want to start observing on-page signals to other like authority pages on the site that we're trying to rank. But that's like a whole SEO strategy in itself, meaning that we don't want to spend too much time trying to do all that stuff. We're just trying to observe from a surface level what we can be doing or start doing, and then we can allocate certain hours to those different tasks. Okay, so now that we know that the page authority, we're gonna go in here, press our little on-page elements button, so now we're gonna see, okay, so page title is 53. We can add more characters in there if we want. We should see what this looks like in the search results. Also, the URL is perfect length, 5 words. That's good. And to see what it looks like in the search results, you just do cite and then the name of the article, or the URL of the article. There it is. That's what it looks like. It looks pretty good. And you'll see it does allow more characters, right? Because that's the it's truncating the brand at the end as well. Also, if we look at the meta description, we do want to make sure that the keywords are in here too as well, because when people type in typography artist, this is going to show up bold, so that's good. One of the problems is there's still multiple meta descriptions on here, which is not good. If we go to general attributes, 0.8 second load time, which is great. I don't know if we have any incoming links. Doesn't look like. Maybe we do. I think maybe we do. So we could actually go to Ahrefs and check it out. Go here, put in the URL. So I think there are 16 backlinks coming into this page. So we'll click on that. Yep. So we could also reach out to try to collaborate with these people as well. Oh, that's just a search engine. Looks like some of these have been dropped too. So maybe not, who knows? Doesn't look like all links, link type, all. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe not. So the reason why we're looking at that is because one of the things that we could also start doing is trying to push this page out and start getting links, because if there's not a lot of links coming into this page and we see that this is a really valuable page and we want to increase the rankings on this, we could also try to get some link signals sent by getting links to this article through like some sort of automated outreach via like Pitchbox or something. So we also want to figure out what we could do for that. And then also we want to figure out if there's any incoming links from the actual different pages on the site, so internal links. And the way we can look at that, I think, is if we go to link type, or sorry, where is it? It's different on different link checkers. On Moz, it's pretty easy to find. I don't know about Ahrefs. Let's see. We'll just put it into Open Site Explorer so that way I can see pretty quickly without trying to figure that out. So, linking domain, inbound links. This page only internal all links. So, looks like there are other pages linking to this page from the site, which is good. And that also explains probably it having a decent page authority as well, because there are interlinking. I don't know if we want to have the same anchor text twice in here. That's another thing. So that is good that interlinking is happening on the site to that page. What else? Let's go back. Did I put consider A/B testing? Okay. Markup. So we have OG data. We can test that here. So we'll go like here and type in Facebook debugger just to see what this looks like. So we might want to get some sort of OG data plugin if there isn't one already. So that looks all right, except there are some warnings. Might want to double check that. So I'm just going to say double check OG data. Perhaps implement plugin like SSO Pro or Yoast Pro. Except SSO Pro, it gives you more capabilities. And then as far as schema markup, we definitely want article markup on these. So start doing article markup. And then there's also no micro formats, which you can use to like specify like an author. Let's see what's specifically on this page for markup. So we'll go over here, structured data testing tool. Go right there. Plug in our URL. Let's see if there is an author detected. We definitely do want that. If not, whoops, I did code snippet instead. So blog posting, it is picking that up, which is interesting because it's not picking it up as schema apparently off of what Moz is saying, but it looks like that is picking it up, so it's not that big of a deal apparently. But we definitely do want to have author markup. So I'm going to say author markup. Article, if there's already a blog posting markup, we don't need it, but start doing author markup. So Google can see who the author of these articles is, more likely to trust what you're talking about. And then yeah. HTTP status looks good, so we'll cancel out of that. And then other than that, I think this page is good besides like the basics we just talked about. If we did figure out that, you know, this has a really high KPI by doing content marketing, and we want to start getting a higher ROI by getting like more of these call to actions clicked, we wanted to start ranking higher for our queries because we were in position like 3 or 4. We could start trying to further SEO this page. But just making those basic optimizations should improve this page. And like I said, you don't, once you're in like position 3 or 4, you don't want to do too many things that might break the post and make it rank lower. Especially since this is like the top traffic page on the site, or one of them, at least through Google. So that's for the first top page. Those are the recommendations that I'm going to make for that one. Also, you want to start putting last updated instead of date published, because then it looks more relevant and it's not as like it doesn't look as outdated. So cool. Let's see if there was anything else that backlink could do. Oh, also one of the things that I didn't look at was bold and italics. So Google does look at bold and italics as a ranking signal, so we might want to start using those. A very small one, and not even a ranking signal, but just like a higher relevancy signal. Bold and italics utilization. And then I think other than that, is this easily shareable? So that's the other thing, is I don't see share buttons until I don't even see share buttons. So that's something that we definitely want to do as well on these content marketing pieces, is implement share buttons. Cool. Another thing that we can start doing is we can cross-check to see if these articles have any sort of search rate as well on YouTube, because the chances are if they have a search rate on Google, they also are going to have a search rate on YouTube, or maybe even other sources like Pinterest or wherever else. And in that case, we can do repurposing of content through visual marketing or even audio, and get some extra traffic, and then also embed YouTube videos on our posts, which may or may not increase our conversions and then also increase our rankings. So I would consider repurposing this content as well, because it's usually not very hard to do, and you can do it in multiple ways. You can do slideshows. You don't even have to talk, but that's something I would definitely consider doing. Implement share buttons. Consider and it doesn't even have to be for all your posts. It can just be consider doing consider repurposing content on top traffic pages. Trafficked, is that a word? Trafficed? No, we'll just say pages with top traffic. So we'll go to the next page. I think we got enough for this one page, so we'll cancel out of there. Let me get rid of some of these tabs. Also, something that's huge is that if there's only one conversion point on the site, so like if there's tons of traffic to the site, which there's a good amount of traffic to the site, and this is the only converting page, we definitely want to do A and B testing on this, no matter what. So I mean, that would be like one of the first things that I would say, like definitely A/B test this page with different call to actions, different landing pages, and it's really easy to do, and it gives you a lot of data, and it gives you a lot of really cool things that you can start looking at to improve, you know, your conversions. Okay, what's next? So, also it might be helpful to A/B test this as well, because I don't know how many people are actually clicking on this link up here, but it would be cool to look at with Heatmaps. Okay, so next top page. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to pages. We're going to reset top queries. Or sorry, reset top pages. And the next thing we have is another content marketing piece, which is awesome. Let me get some water here. Okay, so we're going to click on that. Free brand guidelines template for download. And we can actually go here, click on the page, click on the queries. And it looks like the user intent is matching the query or the title. So of course, that's pretty well optimized as well. For user intent. Let's see how user experience looks, and then also let's look at the code. So we can go to here on the Moz bar, and we can go to page title, multiple meta descriptions found again, and then of course the markup needs to same sort of stuff. I mean, we're going to see the same sort of stuff on the different content marketing pieces. And then in this situation also, I would probably just leave a more heavy call to action. So another thing that's happening is we want to take out any anchor text that says like here. We want to actually put the name of the page that we're trying to rank, because that way the Google can better understand what we're talking about instead of it thinking that the page's name is here. So we're going to say remove irrelevant anchor text and put the name of the pages and replace. Something else that we definitely want to do that I forgot to mention early on was we do want to be tracking this with some sort of SEO tracker. So if this isn't happening already, I mean, I would recommend like us start doing SEO Profiler. And then start tracking the main keywords. And the best way to start doing this is literally just to get the start tracking the website, go to our top queries, and then export the list for through a CSV on just by pressing download. and then just uploading that into our SEO tracker. And then once we start getting rankings for new keywords, or we're going for new keywords that we've been finding through keyword research or whatever, we can start adding them to the tracker. So I'm going to recommend that start tracking keywords and rankings with Rank Tracker. And the reason why this is so important is because you can start seeing like what your direct correlations with what you're doing to your rankings. So like if we go to Ranking Monitor and we look at alerts, we can actually see, oh look, the conversions that we've been making on these pages is rising up the rankings for this, so the things that are good. But we can also look at the negative changes and see, oh yeah, we worked on that other page, you know, last week, and now it's going down. So let's go redo the things that we did, or try to re-optimize the page. And then of course a lot of other things like being able to track the different incoming links that are coming to your site. If you're doing any sort of AdWords, it's good to look at that stuff, because this also will track that. And then also using some sort of social media tracker to be looking at the different metrics for your social media. But that's a little off topic. Okay, so for these pages, I mean, it really is going to be on identifying our top KPIs. And then if we want to do AP testing, we can. And then also user intent or user experience optimizations on these different pages. But really a lot of it's going to come down to like, in my opinion, it's going to come down to what can we use these pages as to funnel for our main conversions, or at least start doing content upgrades to get our email list going, because there's a lot we could do there. So I mean, just by making those small changes, even without optimizing the user or optimizing the pages too much with different like changing up the pages too much, just by adding like a couple lines of text that say, hey, opt in here or whatever, is definitely going to help out in the long run by like exponentially by getting email lists or you know, conversions to traffic to other referrals to other pages, and then conversions from those pages, like the page we were looking at. So we'll go back to our main pages again. And now these are the main pages. So because we already looked at most of the content marketing pieces, we kind of know what to expect. And we kind of know that like one of the big things is really just kind of adding better CTAs in there and experiment with what we can do in those on those different pages. And like I said, I'd probably just recommend like the top 10 traffic pages and try those out first. And then if that's working out really well, then we'll just go to the other pages as well. Also, these pages are going to be separate from like our main pages, like so there's landing pages, and then there's like informational pages like blog posts or articles. So we just looked at the articles, which are going to be separate SEO like in a way than our different landing pages, which is like our main pages, which are more like the site architecture. It's not content marketing. So we're going to look at those right now, which is probably what we should have looked at the beginning, but I wanted to look at the top traffic pages first. So let's look at the home page. So we'll go here. And then for these pages, I actually like to do more of like, I don't just like to just do like eyeballing it and then like doing like basic SEO checkers like Beam Us Up. I actually like to go and do like like really good SEO checkers like SEO Profiler, and really figure out the specifics on what we can do on the pages. But because we don't have it tracked right now, on SEO Profiler, we can't do that. So we'll just go to like SEO Site Checkup and look at the basics through that. So we'll press Checkup. Okay, so title of the website is 67 characters, which is perfect. And we should be able to get an idea of what they're trying to rank for just by looking at this title. So we'll go, it looks like it's branding agency and creative graphic design studio in Belfast, UK. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to see if that matches with what it's showing up for. And how we do that is we just go to the home page on Search Console. We click on it, and then we go back to queries. And make sure you are filtering by last 90 days. So now we can see what the homepage is actually showing up for and if it's matching the title. So it looks like Inkbot, which we're showing up for the branding, the actual brand, which is good. but that, even though it says nothing about that in the title. So let's see if we're actually showing up for that in Google. So we'll type in site, boom. Okay, branding agency. So it doesn't even say it in there, but people, of course, are able to pick that up through the meta description. We might want to actually include the brand name in the title tag. That's something I would probably recommend. So I'm going to actually say consider adding brand name in title. And I do see that there's 10 people viewing this. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm kind of just rambling right now, but you know, I'd love to help you guys out if you have any questions. Okay, so we're going to cancel back out of that, and we're going to look at the meta description. Actually, sorry, hold on. We're going back to the user intent. So Inkbot design, they're typing that in. Freelance graphic designer. So this is what it looks like we're getting most of the clicks for, but that's actually not what we're trying to brand for. So even though we might be getting an ROI off of that, I don't know if we want to necessarily be showing up for that. That's kind of like, I don't know. Let's look at freelance graphic designer, and this is probably not going to show up for me, but I am curious to see if it shows up on the first page or anything close to that. No, but if we go to google.uk, google.co.uk, see if we got anything. So I don't see anything. And in that situation, he's probably showing up locally for that. This looks like our main query, at least for the homepage. We might want to go. So this is always a big thing, is if we're getting all these national rankings and this is targeting more of a national audience, do we want to move from focusing on something like local and going more of a national audience for our title optimizations? And that's kind of like one of those situations where it's kind of tricky, because you can still definitely get conversions, which we are, through the content marketing pieces we're doing, and still be targeting local. But you could try to rank the homepage, if it's authoritative enough, for other hard queries that are more national or international based. Like for instance, just branding agency, or branding agencies. But that's of course a lot harder, and usually I don't recommend doing that stuff until your site's extremely authoritative and you've been doing content marketing for a very long period of time and you're really high authority, like probably domain authority 60 or 70. So I would recommend we keep the local, and we probably continue to target things around graphic design Belfast. So let's actually see what we're doing for that actual specific ranking, what the keywords are, or the search rate is for that. Graphic design Belfast. Okay, so there's not that many searches for that, at least from what I'm seeing on here. Let's go to our handy dandy keywordtool.io. And you do have to remember, this is in the last 90 days, so that's not that many clicks for the last 90 days. And that's one of the things that we do have to consider, is even though that we are not trying to brand as freelance graphic designer, we are getting clicks for that. And even though we're not actually saying anything about freelance graphic design, I'm pretty sure that's how this site used to be targeted. So all of the anchor tags and contextual targeting from maybe the old pages or whatever this was optimized for are still showing this site for that. And we might actually have a higher ROI for that, but we might not necessarily want to target that. So it's kind of one of those tricky situations. Let's see. Sorry, I didn't log in. Let me see. So 320, that's actually really good. And it has, and one of the things that you do want to look at is having a high CPC when you're looking at these values, which 493 is pretty good, because that means there's actually a high converting, people are willing to pay for it, which means it's a high value keyword. So I would try to probably, in my opinion, continue to optimize for this. So branding agency and creative design studio in Belfast, UK. I might even just go for graphic design Belfast, except you might not want to show that for your worldwide audience. That's kind of one of those trickier situations. Honestly, I think you can get away with doing graphic design Belfast where people aren't going to necessarily have to go to the homepage and look at the title tag. And I don't think that's going to deter them from converting. It might if they're looking for somebody local, but I think at least putting graphic design Belfast, maybe more exact match might be helpful. As you can see from these user intent signals, graphic design Belfast is actually the exact query that people are typing in. But it looks like it's saying that you're in position, let's see, 9.7, so that's pretty good. It doesn't have to be title tags to necessarily be the main decision for Google to rank you higher for that query, but I want to see one more thing. If this is a local based query, like, will the maps show up for this? So graphic design Belfast. So yeah, this is actually a good thing, because if you have a local location, or even if you have a house address, you can actually get this to rank on the local algorithm, and then start sending citation signals as well if you don't feel like branding as much for Belfast, and still rank on the map, and then hopefully rank higher in organic. Let's see if it's showing up. There it is right there, boom. So basically getting some citations and your local indexing site profile set up on this is definitely going to get you additional traffic in this area. And it doesn't look like there is anything for this. So this is one of the big things that I would definitely recommend. So let me do that as a note. That'll definitely get you more traffic and probably way more conversions. So, and the fact that you're already showing up there with an organic listing is a high, gives you a high probability that you're actually going to show up as in local as well. So consider local business location or service area. Okay, cool. So we're going to on page, let's keep going. So the meta description of the page has a length of, sorry, before I continue, just so you guys know everything that I said right there, because that was kind of a lot. The whole point behind that was looking at the homepage, looking at the user intent, and then figuring out what people are actually going to be going there to convert. A lot of people will just get homepages, put in a keyword that looks relevant, and then not even think about what people are actually going for the website. They're not thinking about the other pages. They're not looking at the overall purpose or the site architecture of the site. And it's really important to take into consideration all these different key points that might be contributing to the overall growth of the website, where the conversions are going to be coming from, what people are going to actually be thinking when they go into these different pages to learn more information, and what's going to be the best choice overall, not just, okay, there's 500 searches for this, let's just put it for the homepage and see what happens. And a lot of people do that, they just stop there. And you really want to think about user experience and user intent behind what you're doing, because you really can either really hurt a website and the business by doing certain SEO, making certain SEO changes, or you can really help a business by doing different changes. And it's really important to look at this stuff and measure it. Master Programmer says, hi guys. What's up, Master Programmer? Okay. And that also being said, we now know that we pretty much, in my opinion, want to go for graphic design Belfast for our rankings on the homepage, at least for now. So meta description: Inkbot Design is a creative branding agency and graphic design studio focused on professional logo design strategy. So one of the things that I don't think needs to happen in these meta descriptions, I don't know if it's necessarily a D ranking or a negative ranking factor, but there looks like a little bit of an unnecessary amount of capitalization going on in this meta description. I might recommend getting rid of that and just putting like regular like sentence structure. So unnecessary don't know if I spelled that right. Unnecessary capitalization. God. Caps on the homepage meta description. You definitely, I know for sure you don't want to put all caps in your titles or your metas. Okay, so now we'll see the most common keyword tests. So this is going to show us where our keywords are showing up on the page, how many times they're showing up. Keywords included in title tag, keywords included in meta description. The reason why it knows these are the keywords is because it's finding them by them showing up the most. So that's really important to have happen. So we know that design, brand, branding, business, and logo are our keywords, but we actually have more keywords that we're going for. And you'll see it in the keyword cloud, which is actually pretty cool to look at. The most relevant keywords are brand, branding, business, design, logo, and not really much about Belfast or graphic showing up in here. So we probably do want to mention that more on page for our content. So I'm just going to take a note and say for homepage, more heavily target area and graphic design with content. Okay, so homepage contains H1 headings. Need a professional branding agency, which we might want to go more for graphic design, but that's subjective. I mean, that's really up to the owner of Inkbot. Your page contains H2 headings. Their contents are listed below. Your business, your brand. So yeah, that looks okay. Congratulations, have a robot.txt. That's good. Found 2 sitemaps. I don't know if we want to have 2 sitemaps. So there's a Yoast sitemap, and then let's see if there's a different sitemap. Same one, so it just redirects, so that's fine. Go back. And we also want to make sure that the Search Console has those sitemaps indexed. So let's go to Search Console, and then we're going to go to, where is it? Sitemaps, trying to find them. Sitemaps under crawl. And here we are. Looks like we have the sitemaps. Looks like they're good. Cool. So go back to our on page. Your web page has 13 image tags, and one of them are missing the required alt attribute, alt tag. Let's see which one that is. Whoops, where'd it go? Looks like it's probably just a placeholder for Facebook. Not that big of a deal, but it would be nice to have an alt tag. Inline CSS tests, using inline CSS styles. You're not technically supposed to do that, but a lot of people do. Found a fav icon, but it's not accessible. I don't know why that's not happening. CSS files are not minified, which you can use a plugin for that. Not that big of a deal. Not using SSL, that's one of the big things that I actually forgot to mention that we do want to switch over if we can. Start using SSL, because that's going to be a huge thing in the very near future. It's already starting to be. Web page is not using microdata specifications or schema markup, so even though it was picking up blog data on the post, which I don't know how it was, we still want to be more specific with our schema markup if possible. But other than that, pretty good SEO, at least from this test. We could cross-check this with another SEO checker, which I usually do, but because we're still kind of in the surface level overview of this, we're actually just going to be skipping that and going back to the other things that we can look at. So we'll go cancel out of that and go back to search traffic. Where is it? Hold on, search analytics. So for the home page, other than that, I would also put organization markup on here. I'm pretty sure when we looked at this, there wasn't any markup. So we do want to make sure, since this is a brand. Now, here's the thing. If this is a brand, we want to do schema markup for organization, and it's like if it's a brand that's going to be worldwide. Now, we can have the not necessarily the homepage ranking for the query that we're trying to target in Belfast, and we can make a local page for this and then put local schema markup on that. Or we can put local schema markup on this and try to rank this page locally. And then we could also have a national page that we could put organization markup on as well. Or we could do organization markup, which also I think you can do like, there's like an organization markup where you can actually put the address as well. I was actually just reading an article about this. It's pretty interesting, but you can have a local ranking and an organization ranking like this. I'll show you. So if we go to what is it? What's that giant tower? It's not the Eiffel Tower. Is it? Yeah, it's the Eiffel Tower. So you'll see it's a local location. There's an address for it. Or sorry, it's not the Eiffel Tower. It's what's the largest tower in the world? Oh, sorry, not top in the US. Yeah, I don't remember. Either way, it's similar to this one where it has the location, it has the Google reviews, it has the different reviews from similar web sources, and it also has the different social profiles. That's what we want to go for. You guys are saying the Tower Pizza? No, it's the one with the glass floor. I don't remember the name of it. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to say probably organization markup with an address. For homepage, use schema organization markup with address. And then that way you can start doing same as profiles. And what that means is you can put this data in there saying same as Facebook, same as Twitter. And then hopefully you can start having your brands show up with that different same as data. So what that means is it like if you put in like a school like UCSB, whoops, you'll start seeing you'll start seeing like the different profiles, and people can find you through this stuff, which is really important to be able to have if you're going to be a brand. So that's how you use organization markup. But we're not going to do the schema markup on right now, but that is something we want to consider. And I actually think there is a schema markup for branding agencies. Okay, what's next? I think the homepage is good for now. We might want to do A/B testing on this page as well, because there is a lot of traffic coming into it. We're just going to want to do a lot of A/B testing in general. Looks like it's pretty good. And it looks like this funnel's been pretty much optimized, but even in this case, we also want to start doing conversion funnels to look at where people are dropping off in the funnel process. Okay, cool. What's next? So the next page I think was a services page. So we're gonna go to pages, filter. Whoops, sorry. We're just gonna go to pages and go back to the last 90 days because that accidentally got reset. We're gonna look at this. We're actually gonna go back and then open that page up from here. So professional graphic design services, So there's another point where they can convert. Looks good. What is this? Now we're gonna want to see what this is showing up for. So we'll go click on that page. Whoops, mouse just jumped. Click on this page, go to queries. And then this is the different things that they're showing up for, graphic design services. So that's even bigger. So now that I'm seeing this, that they're showing up for graphic design services on this page, I would say maybe have this page be the organization page and then have the other page be the local page. And it might seem backwards, but because they're showing up so much for graphic design services, this might really be in if you were to look at this in a different perspective, this might actually be like the homepage for like the national or international queries, because this is the page that everybody's going to off of Google for like nationally. So if we type in graphic design services, and we might actually want to go from the UK. So let's go back, google.co. Wait a second, did I just see it? Yeah, right there, boom. So that's huge. I mean, the fact that they're showing up for that is insane. Number 2 for graphic design services with aggregate rating. I mean, that's going to improve click-throughs. Let's see what those click-throughs look like. 5.5%, average position of 2, and that's like worldwide. So that right there is just amazing. Like, that's such a big accomplishment for a website. And I honestly would have probably started here if I would have seen that this is like, you know, this is what it is. So for this page, this is the page that we would definitely want to start with A/B testing no matter what, because it has so much traffic. So many people are going to be going to this page to convert. So let me go and type that in. Definitely do A/B on. And we probably will move forward with A/B testing. So if you guys do want to check out, there's going to be multiple parts to these streams for this website. And if you guys do want to check out how to do A/B testing, make sure you stick around for that, because it's going to be pretty interesting to watch for this website. In terms of the on page, because it's ranking so well, I probably wouldn't want to touch it, except maybe putting the organization data on this page and then the local markup on the home page. So let me go back to, for homepage, use schema local. For services page, do do organization markup. And then yeah, just start A/B testing the heck out of these. Also, we're going to want to look at these pages and see what the user experiences looks like. So if we go to analytics, go to home, and then go to website and look at the traffic or the analytics for that page. So we go to behavior, site content, landing pages, and then services. So yeah, that is the top trafficked page. With a 6% bounce rate. That's so good. It's ridiculous. Average session duration is 1 minute. We might want to try to raise that. I would honestly start implementing like probably Hotjar for this. And maybe even start looking at like visitor recordings. I was told by Inkbot that they have used Crazy Egg in the past, so that might be something that I would really want to look at. It might also be helpful to have like a chat box show up. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because you're probably getting so many conversions as it is. At least I'm hoping so. But other than that, the rest of the pages, let's look at them. So we'll reset top pages, go to pages, and the rest look like content marketing and then a couple of the landing pages. So because there's not too many things going on besides the content marketing pieces, I would say, because I don't want to make too many changes at first and we've already found so many things that we can fix, I would start with the things that we can do, and even just doing those basic things is going to make a huge difference in what's going on. Also, I would probably recommend for this site doing remarketing through AdWords with remarketing code, because it's really cheap and you can get your brand in front of more people in different websites, and it'll definitely increase your conversions tremendously for a very small amount of money, and the ROI is super high, especially since you already have the traffic. So I would say consider remarketing through AdWords, especially since you're doing branding and you're going to be wanting to have your brand keep showing up for these people, so they understand that this is like a branding thing and they need to do the same thing. So that's a good amount for now. Like I said, I don't like doing too many changes. There's so many things that we can do. We can keep diving into this, but I don't like doing too many things at once, because once you start doing too many things, you start to lose track of all the things that you are doing. And literally just by doing like one change, like changing the homepage from like to more heavily target local, and start getting conversions through like local, can really just, that alone can make a huge difference in the amount of conversions they're getting. Even just putting different call to actions or doing A/B testing as well can make a huge difference. There's so many things that can just really, just by doing little changes, can make a huge difference. So that's what I'm going to stop with today. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure you hit the like button and press and comment. Tell me what you guys think. I'll probably be making a couple more videos today, so we'll be seeing you around.